Hi there, in this video I'm going to explain the difference between passive narcissism and aggressive narcissism. Now, the difference between these two types of narcissisms is, obviously one's aggressive and one's passive, but how they play out is somewhat different towards others. Usually someone with aggressive narcissism will be very outwardly abusive, very cynical, very sarcastic in a nasty way. They will always be looking to put down the person that they are supposed to be in love with, or their family members. They will very obviously be selfish, very obviously just use people. They're often known by people as the bad boys or the bad girls. Okay, these aggressive narcissists. They just use people for sex and for money, and they have no regard, or very little regard, for anybody other than themselves. They're the greatest, they're the best, they're the most macho. You can often see an aggressive narcissism making himself to be stronger or fitter than other people, maybe through a martial art or something, making themselves to really be out to be superior in that ilk, and being very obvious about their lack of regard for human life. So they're known as aggressive narcissists. It's a bad boy, the bad girl image. Now, some people grow out of that kind of narcissism. Some people, it's just a phase. Some people remain and really are an aggressive narcissist. Passive narcissism is a bit different. Passive narcissism is like the nice guy, nice boy, nice girl type problem that you get, where the person really is disengaged from their true self, and they put up a nice image or a good image, a moral image that they think people will, really value and really love. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good in being moral. I, as a Christian, believe in being moral and upright under the power of God. But what the nice boy or nice girl does is they paint themselves out to have no particular weaknesses or deficits. They make themselves out, they say, oh, no one will ever love you like I love you, is one of the lines that a passive narcissist would use. And they've really forsaken their self a long time ago, these passive narcissists, nice boy, nice girls. They've really lost themselves at some stage in their development as human beings. So as a result, they become across to others as flat two-dimensional individuals that sound like they have a lot to offer, but don't really offer anything of particular substance. They don't go the extra mile. They want to be nice, but they don't want to go out too much out of their way. And often such people can come from religious backgrounds, not actual Christian backgrounds as such, of having a revelation of Jesus, but from a religious point of view of being around in the church, trying to learn morals through the written word, trying to apply the law to their lives. Jesus called these people Pharisees, passive narcissists who had lost the true meaning of the walk, and were going on something that they thought God would pertain to, rather than them pertaining to God. So passive narcissists are usually involved in sort of maybe some pastoral work. They might be involved in care work or feeding the homeless. Because they want to be seen as the good guy, the one that always does the right thing and is always noble and upright and honest. So that's sort of passive narcissism. Whereas aggressive narcissism is almost the opposite. They want to be seen as the bad guy. They want to be seen as the popular one. They're called the in-hip sort of guy. There's nothing real about these type of narcissists, either passive or aggressive, because they've disembarked from what is real inside themselves, and in order to be free, they need to go back to who they really are and embrace that person with all their faults and weaknesses. And it may be that a bad boy or aggressive narcissist, their true self might not be as aggressive, might not be as that kind of front, and in fact it probably isn't. And a passive narcissist in reality their real self is probably, well, definitely more flawed, or more, working through things than they paint the picture to be. Okay, thank you very much for watching.